Hello, today's video will be about the January 2025 games pickups, sort of haul, I guess you would say. So yeah, we're gonna go in console order, and I think it is roughly in chronological order as well. So let's just get started. First up, we have the Game Boy Advance. Now, don't collect much for the Game Boy Advance, really. Don't buy them in bulk or anything. Mainly because I like to for them to have a manual. It doesn't have to necessarily be boxed, but at least be manual and obviously legitimate. So I came across this one on eBay. Now, I thought I had this one, but I did have it at one point, but seems to have gotten lost somewhere. I have all the others in the series as well. The GT2, which is sort of rallying, and then there's GT3, which again is pretty much like this. The only difference between this one and GT3 Advance is you can't save on this one. It has to be done by sort of passwords, which is a little irritating, but not too bad. I put it in the car. I put it in the box protector just so it doesn't get all sort of torn up. So that if you have a quick read of that, that's basically the point of the game. Yep. So it's got manual, game, promotional sort of leaflets and things. It's got a really cool sticker. I mean, £33.87. That's just a weird number for it to be priced. From in when it was bought in Asda originally. But yeah, you will notice there is quite a focus on racing games. Being an automotive enthusiast, I enjoy my driving games. But yeah, there will be other genres, obviously later on down the line. But this month, this past month, focused mainly on the racing games. So let's get into the next console, which again only one game for that console, and it's the Xbox One. I have a Series X. I used to have an Xbox One, but now have the Series X. Love it, but yeah, it's always good. The fact that it's backwards compatible with Xbox One, obviously, it makes it so much easier to find different games. And the next one is Outlast Trinity. Now this has Outlast 1, Outlast Whistleblower DLC, which is a fantastic DLC, and Outlast 2. Now, not really big on my horror games, or horror movies in general, but when I sort of had go of this one, and like of the first one, it's fantastic. It's probably top 5 games I've ever played. The first Outlast game. Just loved it. The third one that's out now, not really my sort of thing. It looks too co-op-y, too multiplayer-y for my sort of tastes. I'm much more of a single player kind of guy. But yeah, fantastic. If you've not played any of the Outlast games, I'd give Outlast and Whistleblower definitely a go. Outlast 2 is a little bit different. You're more outside than confined in a sort of asylum or house or whatever. But yeah, fantastic games. Next up, we have the PSP, or PlayStation Portable. Now, this was all in one bundle. All these PSP games were all one bundle on eBay. And first one, F1 2009. Haven't really played much of the Formula One games, but I think looking at it, it will be quite a good sort of handheld little simulation-y type racer. Again, all of these are sort of manual where appropriate, and obviously got the this. I don't tend to buy games without manuals. I will do if it's like a £1 or £2 game, but like if it's more expensive than that, I prefer to have it with the manual. Next up is Cars, Disney Pixar Cars. It's a platinum case. Again, don't really mind the platinum cases that much. I mean, if I have a couple now, so I would just put them at the end. So if you put like the regular cases, then the platinum ones, and then there's another one here that's slightly different as well. If you just like set it up into different sections, I think it looks all right. If you do sort of muddle them in together, they do look a bit weird. But yeah, so Disney Cars. Again, kind of a sort of like a kids style racing game, but still decent. Looks a lot better than the DS version and the Game Boy Advance version, which I've also played. DS version is garbage. Next up is a staple, pretty much, for any sort of PlayStation collection, Ridge Racer. Now, having not had a PlayStation other than a PSP, this is sort of my first interaction with Ridge Racer. It's very sort of drift handling rather than sort of track handling, I would suggest. But yeah, great game. Looks fantastic. Very difficult. Like the difficulty curve really ramps up. And again, sort of old style Game Station sticker is very cool. I'm going to keep that on there. And the final sort of platinum game that came with it is Burnout Dominator. Now, everyone sort of rants and raves about Burnout. Was never a big fan on like home console. Whenever I had a sort of a go of them, but yeah, I think for handhelds, much better, much more suited to it. So I mean, everybody knows the Burnout series, so great game. Next is Test Drive Unlimited. Now, it works on a home console really well. On handheld, not really. It doesn't. It's not. It doesn't have the same sort of atmosphere as the home console game, but yeah, still great sort of handheld. It's really pushing the limits of what the PSP can do, really, with the rendering of the cars and everything. But yeah, can't fault it, really. Next up is one that I really didn't get on with on the home consoles, like the bigger ones, and that would be Midnight Club LA Remix. Don't know what it is about it. It's just the handling of it and the way that the map's set out. Just could not get on with I played on the Xbox version. But as a handheld, it works slightly better, I think. The handling's still a bit weird, a bit sort of floppy. But yeah, much easier to sort of get to grips with. Very sort of its time, sort of early, sort of 2000s, sort of Pin My Ride sort of style modifications and things. But yeah, good game. Looking forward to completing it. About 3-4 hours into it. I'm sort of nearly at the end of it, I think. I'm not sure on that one, but yeah, good game. This one I haven't played, so I don't know how good it is, but it's Off-Road. Now, I think it's part of the Ford street racing sort of series, but obviously dirt racing and things like that with Fords and Land Rovers and things like that. So I do look forward to giving that one a go. Next up, Sega Rally. Now, love Sega Rally. It's a fantastic franchise. Like the arcades, all the old style graphics and everything on the Dreamcast and things like that. Just great. But this one it's a little bit more sort of Colin McRae dirt sort of style. Which not a bad thing, obviously. But yeah, just doesn't have the same feel as like the older Sega Rallies, but still a fantastic looking game as well. And yeah, real good fun. A little bit more difficult than you would expect. There's a sort of the difficulty curve sort of peaks up a little bit. Not, unplayable, but like you do then have to sort of get good at the tracks and things like that. Another game I haven't played, and it's just yet, but it's MotorStorm Arctic Edge. Now, if you see anything online about the PSP, it's always you need to have MotorStorm Arctic Edge. Possibly not the PSP Essentials version; it does look a bit silly, but yeah, we're here for the games, not what it looks like really on the cover and things like that. So yeah, good game. We'll give it a go, and we'll report findings later on. Now, next up is something I've been wanting for a while. Been thinking about getting one of these for ages, and it is... Okay, that's too big. An Xbox 360. I got the Xbox 360 E, I think it is. 500 gig one. This is actually an empty box. It's already plugged into my TV. But yeah, wanted an Xbox 360 for ages. I was always a handheld console player as a kid, so I didn't really get any home consoles until my Xbox One in about 2014, I think it was when that came out. But yeah, always wanted a 360. And finally, after about, 20 years of it being out, I've finally got one. Again, a whole bunch of games were then purchased. All of them, let's remove that, because that box is massive. All of them are racing games. So we'll start off with Colin McRae Dirt 2. Now, I've put a lot of hours into this, and I've nearly won every race on the campaign. And I only got it about 3 weeks ago, I think it was. Yeah, just got so addicted to Dirt 2. Fantastic game. If I was to nitpick, it'd be there's too much sort of rally cross and not enough actual rally races in it. But yeah, again, fantastic game. Everyone should have a Colin McRae game in their collection. Next up, again, Test Drive Unlimited. Not very far into this game. I've got the first house, and I've only got like 2 cars at the moment. But yeah, great just to sort of just drive around. Just put Spotify on or whatever, and just hit the road and just drive. Really, really good, and the graphics hold up surprisingly well for a really old game. Next up, I was a bit disappointed with how this looks. Now, Need for Speed Carbon Collector's Edition. I like the obviously the cover art and everything like that, but it just seems, for a collector's edition, it just seems a bit thin. I don't know if there's supposed to be a slipcover or whatever, but yeah, this is how CEX sent it. It's all complete, everything, I think, judging by what you can see online about it. But yeah, I haven't really played much into this. I've picked the first car and done sort of the tutorial. But yeah, looking at gameplay footage, I think I'm going to enjoy it. Next up, we have Project Gotham Racing 3. Now, it's a bundle copy, so it's not ideal because it cuts off like most of the car on the cover. But again, complete with manual, everything. Haven't tried this one yet. We'll get to another game which I've been, again, addicted to and haven't really stopped playing it. So once I do give this a good go, we'll report back findings. Same with Project Gotham Racing 4. Now again, a bundle copy. But yeah, again, complete. It looks great. I want to see how the bike mechanics work compared to the cars. Just because I don't know how that will work, like whether or not they'll be any good. This is probably my favourite game that I've bought for the 360. Forza Motorsport 4 Limited Collector's Edition. Also, my first steelbook. It comes with an art book. If you want to see the art book, I might do a sort of a full review of this sort of set, but I assume you probably have seen it thousands of times. Yeah, love this game. It's really a lot better than more of the modern ones, basically because you get so much sort of cheaper lower end cars to start with, and you've got to grind to get to the higher end and the race cars. And I find that so much better than just getting handed a ton of cars just off the bat that you can get. And we bought for Motorsport 4, so that means we then had to get the Motorsport 2 Collector's Edition. Now, it's a bit sort of tatty, the outside sleeve, but the rest of it's really nice condition. So I'm not too bothered about that. Haven't played this one yet because I've been too busy with Motorsport 4, but we'll give that a good go. And then finally, you won't be surprised, Forza Motorsport 3. Comes with all the key ring and the USB stick and everything like that. Again, only sort of done the tutorial race of this, just to see what it handled like, if it was the same as 4. Again, looks like I'm going to really enjoy this game, so happy with my purchases. Next, that's the last purchase for this month, seems to be. Yeah, so we'll be looking to do a review of Forza Motorsport 4. Just like the art book and things. That'd be probably the next video, and then who knows what'll be next. I've not got a clue, but it'll be fun to find out. So thanks for watching.